Hi, thanks for being in a new video. Let me tell you what I liked most and least about the Galaxy M55 in case you're considering buying it. So, as I always tell you, don't buy the Galaxy M55 without watching this video. Let's start. Remember that we will base it on its price of 7,999 Mexican pesos. Although today you can find it for much less than that, so it would be even more recommendable. But, to be fair with all devices, we always use its launch price. Let's start with what I like best. The device is slim and relatively light. Consider that if you are going to use a case, it is going to increase the weight and thickness, so it is always good to have a slim device. As for Bluetooth audio, it supports aptX and LDAC codec, so if you are going to use high-resolution wireless headphones, this device is compatible with this quality. Portrait photos in selfie mode come out quite well because it detects objects. This is something that is not very good. It's unusual because most devices with the front camera usually take selfies where the objects are also out of focus, so it doesn't give such a professional representation. But this device does manage to give you a good result. Obviously, it will depend on the complexity of the object, but in general terms, it comes out well. Overall, the camera is going to have a good result in both photography and video, as it can even record video in 4K. Samsung always tends to stand out in the camera section, even in the mid-range, and this device is no exception. It also has details like allowing you to rotate between the main camera and the front camera while you are recording, even in 4K. Most devices don't allow you to rotate the camera while recording, much less in 4K, so it's something that might come in handy if you want to stay in the same clip. It also has a professional mode for video recording. So if you want to manipulate parameters such as focus or white balance and set them completely fixed manually, you can do it. In fact, it also supports dual camera recording, albeit this in full HD, but it's still somewhat useful. Although this gets to be highlighted only because it is a Galaxy, because devices of other brands and even cheaper also have this option, you sound, but within the devices. Galaxy is unusual to see this feature. In addition, we will offer 4 years of Android updates, 5 years of security patches. Normally in the mid-range, the most common is to see 2 years of updates, although more and more manufacturers join the trend of improving this policy. But Samsung has been doing it for years. At the software level, we find many options such as edge panels with shortcuts, floating windows, Bixby routines, and many more things that will make the device more intuitive. I hope your experience will be quite useful if you take advantage of all these options. If you are not going to take advantage of these options, it would be advisable to look for a simpler option so that it does not consume so much RAM. Also, in the security section, there are many options such as secure folders, secure Wi-Fi, Samsung Kit, and many other options. And to take care that the battery does not deteriorate so quickly over time, it integrates options such as smart charging and charging lock that can be used to protect the battery to help you. And finally, it has a huge ecosystem, and Samsung has good partners. So it is compatible with Galaxy Buds, Galaxy Watch, Galaxy Tab, and many other things more. And in partnership with both Microsoft and Google, you have access to even more options. But now let me tell you what I didn't like. The distribution is quite short, so you can only buy it in online stores or Samsung stores, so it can be a bit complicated to find it in physical stores. And that probably also makes the device not as popular as its cousins in the Galaxy S series. Samsung is generally good at protecting screens. It seems that they have not given it as much priority, and therefore we are not going to find such a high level of resistance on the screen. We could say that you have to use it with a little more caution. Curiously, this device does not include equalizer. Virtually all Galaxy have an equalizer. The audio settings on your audio settings, but this device doesn't seem to have it, and therefore you can modify the audio in a specific way. 50 megapixel camera is not so well exploited in high resolution mode. We have seen other devices with 48 megapixel cameras or similar where the level of detail looks much higher. Here it is not so much. The fast camera mode, curiously, is only in HD, and already, since this device has the ability to record video in 4K, the camera mode, processor loses a lot of appeal. The fingerprint reader only allows for 3 enrollments. Other devices will allow you up to 5 enrollments, so you are a bit more limited in the number of fingerprints you can enroll. If you have several people you trust, it will be a bit complicated to add them. It does not come with a charger in the box. This always becomes quite annoying as you would need to buy the original charger. As sometimes it is a bit suspicious to know if the charger you are using is the right one. They are selling you is original or not. Although fortunately it supports the power delivery charging standard. So in the description I also leave you a charger compatible with this standard so you can be sure that it is a fast and safe charge for your Galaxy in case you want to buy it there. I use chargers of this brand and I have never had problems in my test. The battery performed as if it were about 4 mAh. The truth is that it seems that the battery is not so well optimized. Perhaps the processor. It consumes a lot. In general, I think it is a weak point. RAM memory can fall short, so it constantly restarts applications if you have several open. It is not a device that is very focused on the use of many applications. Samsung generally consumes a lot of RAM because of all the software options that it incorporates. So a moment ago I said that if you're not going to take advantage of all your options, better look for something lighter in terms of software. And lastly, if you want to play while recording, the screen can get a little overheated. Although if you're just going to play without recording screen, you might still have a good experience. But this is in general terms what I liked most and least about this device. Remember that I have available the full video review where you can get to know this device in detail. Let me know in the comments your experience. I hope you liked this video. If you did, you can let me know and I'll see you next time.